Hello, YouTube and Universe. Welcome to Scarstorm Productions. I'm your host, Moro, here to bring you everything new on your favorite brands and more. And today we'll be taking a look at the third wave of Transformers Age of the Primes, Year 2. But before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification so you don't miss another video like this, because it may be a small click for you guys, but it's a big help for me and the channel. Thank you. And without further ado, let's begin. Now, this third wave has been one of my more anticipated ones since I didn't know what was going to be out in it. Well, kind of. I don't really look at the leaks, but someone told me about them, so can't really help it. Anyway, we'll be going for our normal format. We'll be starting off with Deluxes, going to Voyagers, and finishing off with the Leader class. And we'll start off with our reissues that we have. Starting off with the oldest one, we have the Fangry mold, which came out in the first year of Buzzworthy Bumblebee during Legacy. Or was it the last year of Kingdom? It was one of those 2 years, but it looks very nice. I like it, and it will go perfectly with my other two junior headmasters that I have, Horrible and Cancer. And I like how it looks. Even though it's a retool and we've seen it before, a re-release and we've seen it before, it still looks very nice. And I love that they used a darker shade of green for the head this time around instead of that lime green that it had originally. Now, even though all that seems nice, it's going to be modern deluxe price, which I don't see as worth it. And why is the train blowing its horn right now? Sorry about that. But yeah, moving into beast mode. It's its amalgamation of a werewolf and dragon bat. I don't know what that is, but it looks very nice and looks very monstrous, which I would hope it would be. But yeah, there's nothing really that much to say about it. We've got it before, and I don't really know how to feel about it being modern deluxe price. Now let's move on to the next one, that being Blanker. Now, yes, his name on the box is Autobot Blanker, but that's because this is based off of his headmaster's design. Basically just goes for the toy accurate head, which the last version of this went for the animation accurate head, which I did not like. But I honestly like how this looks compared to the last one. I even like how they used the plastic in the chest, and it's not clear plastic, which is a huge improvement over the last one. And the shade of blue that they use is honestly better in my opinion. I might just get it to go with the Sure Shot that I got recently, but yeah, it looks very nice. And of course, he still comes with his Target Master partner. And the only thing I wish, since this is based off of the Headmaster's version, I wish you could just replace the hand with the Target Master. That will be the only thing that can improve this figure. But in vehicle mode, it still looks very nice till when I first reviewed it. Well, not reviewed it, but talked about it years ago now. And honestly, it looks very good, and I love it. Now, let's move on to some actual new figures. First up, we have Deluxe Class Tailgate. And oh boy, it feels good. We're getting a new tailgate. And no, this is not based off of the IDW version. This is based off of the original Sunbow animation G1 tailgate. And of course, we knew we were going to get this since we got Wind Charger earlier this year. And it only makes sense to get your retool's worth out of all the molds. And if I'm being honest, I like it. Now, I know some people don't really like it because of how the head looks, but that's how his head looked if you look at any of the scenes he was in G1. That's the exact way the head model was. So, can't really complain about it in my opinion. And he also doesn't come with the accessory that Wind Charger came, like the clear plastic orange. But he does come with his own personalized gun, which is always a cool thing. And on the robot mode looks very nice. And then we have him in vehicle mode. And it's basically a white version of the Wind Charger vehicle mode. Still looks very nice, though. I just wish I had Wind Charger in hand. That's really it. My stores never stocked up on it, so I didn't get it. So hopefully I'm able to get this one. But that, let's move on to our Lax Deluxe class figure, that being Joyride. And hey, he can finally join the club with Getaway of getting a figure outside of their G1 version. Now there's only one more Power Master that needs to get one. I can't remember his name at the moment, though. Joyride is a retool of Sure Shot, which was in Wave 1, and even though it may feel like it's a little early for it, it's a welcome remold. It looks very good and very distinct compared to Sure Shot. And it even does to where the parts that were able to be removed and that were on his shoulders, you can move them to his legs so it could look more accurate to how Joyride's original design was. And all in all, I very much like it, and I will try to get my hands on it. And when you put it into vehicle mode, it's the same as Sure Shot, but the Power Master becomes the engine, but the engine block is way too big for it to be convincing that that's what it's supposed to be, an engine block. So, not the greatest, but it still looks pretty good, at least. I just wish that it was smaller when it turned into an engine, like they could have done something. And when it comes to the Power Master, it's just underwhelming in my opinion. But they're kind of testing the waters with it, so it's a little understandable. But yeah, I can't wait to see how this figure looks in hand. And they also talked about Power Master Optimus Prime, so I can't wait to see what they do with that in the future. But other than that, that's it for the Deluxe class figures. Let's move up a step to the Voyager class. And the first Voyager class figure we have is Swindle, who we talked about a long time ago when it was first revealed to us. And my opinions still are the same to that video, which I have a link to it in the description down below. But I love how it looks, and even though I don't like how the arms have those little flaps that become the front of the vehicle on it, it still looks very good, and I like how blocky he is. It looks like a mix of, what's his name? He did the Combaticons miniseries, if you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, it looks like his version of Swindle mixed with G1, and I love it because of that. And I love that he has a huge cannon that turns into Metasaur's gun as well. Now, I know a ton of people don't like that, but I personally do. And when you take him to vehicle mode, the van looks nice as ever, and I love how the big gun just turns into a mini trailer for him. Basically, he can bring his cargo with him wherever he goes and just sell any weapon he like, and I love it because of that. But all in all, same opinions as I have last time. Now, let's move on to our technically new Voyager class. We have Vector Prime in his Galaxy Force colors. And if you don't know, this is what Vector Prime originally looked like in the past. Because the version we see now is him after thousands of years and the paint started chipping away from him. And this is all that remained. I mean, this is what he looked like before, but his standard form is what remains of him after the fact. And I have to say, I like this one, and I might just get it to replace the one on my shelf, but just as a stand-in for his past stuff. The one that I have now will just go on my Cybertron shelf. Well, Unicron Trilogy shelf, to be more exact. And I love it. I love the shade of gold that they use. It looks like a bronze gold, and I love it. It looks so good. And I love how the Cyberplanet key looks as well. It looks immaculate. I love the silver and trans orange in it. And all in all, it looks very good, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And then we go to vehicle mode, and I still say this is the weaker of the two because you can obviously tell this is the G-Axis remold. But the bronze gold does give it a nice color breakup, so that's at least something. I especially like the hints of silver going along the front and it being broken up with black, then the Cyberplanet key in the center. It makes it have a very unique and distinct profile. And I absolutely adore it for that. But other than that, that's really it for our Voyager class figures. Let's move it up a level. Let's go on to the leader class. And the first one we have up was originally a BotCon exclusive figure, that being Mega Zarak. And he looks very nice. Of course, he is a retool of the recolor of the Armada Megatron. And not to say, I love how the colors can go for this one. I love the light red and blue in it, and well, I don't really know what color red that is. It looks more like pinkish, but it still looks very good, and I love it how it breaks up with the black and purple in it. And all in all, it makes it look very nice. And I like how we're getting more obscure characters in the main line. Like, sure, I know this is going to shelf warm like crazy, but at least it's still cool that we're getting it. You get what I mean? It's still very cool. And I love that we're getting this alongside something we'll talk about later in the video. But moving from a robot mode to vehicle mode, it's the same type of tank that we saw with the Armada Megatron, but it's mainly a black tank with just splashes of colors everywhere on it. It still looks good, but can be better, in my opinion. And all in all, it still looks very good, though. And if it goes on sale or something, I'll buy it just to have like, oh, this is another flunky of Megatron that is a high-ranking member of the Decepticons. And all in all, looks good. Now let's move on to our final leader class figure, that being the Herald of Unicron, also known as the Unicron Soldier. And I'd say this is a very interesting addition to the line because, you know, it's Age of the Primes when we actually get a figure as a Unicron stand-in. So if you got all the Primes, you can put them against someone. So that's very interesting to do. And plus, with this and Sideways, we have two avatars from, like, Unicron, and that's very cool to me. Now, about the design, it's an amalgamation of different Unicron designs. Ooh. For one, we can see a little aspects of the acolytes of Unicron from the Marvel Comics. We can see elements from the Cybertron version of Unicron, which was him rebuilding himself, and a ton of other little details in it. And it looks good, though to me it could have been better, and I was hoping this was going to be a Liege Maximo retool. But you win some, you lose some. It still looks very good as a Megatronus retool, though. But I take this more as this is a construct, not the actual Unicron, if I'm being completely honest. But hey, that's just how I interpret it. You can interpret it any other way, but all in all, the figure looks very good. And for accessories, he comes with basically everything that Megatronus does, but except the Requiem Blaster is modified, so you can put two cannons on it instead of it just being one big one, which is a little disappointing, and it looks bland, but it's okay. And the spark extractor is missing its tip, so it's just like you can make a long sword with it instead of just having a spark extractor at the end, which is another downgrade from it, but oh well. And if we want to talk about major downgrades, look no further than its vehicle mode. And it is not the greatest. It's supposed to be an homage to the Cybertron tank that he had when he was just a small body trying to rebuild himself, but it doesn't look as good as it, if I'm being completely honest. The arms are just hanging there. The cannons for the tank are on its back instead of in the center, and it's not that good. I wish they just kept the Requiem Blaster so it can actually look good as a tank. And the only thing I do really like about it is the front maw of it, which still looks like a mouth, which is very cool. But I can't say that because it needs a ton of work. That's really it. Now, I might get this if it goes on discount for like $30, because that's as most as I'll pay for it. But the only good side about this figure is ultimately its robot mode. And that's not saying a lot. But it still has something special. I'll just say that. Now that's it for everything that's a part of the main line. Now, let's actually get into some exclusives. Starting off with our first Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Well, the only one actually, now that I think about it. The other two are San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. We have the Red Alert Power Links pack, which comes with 8 mini-cons. Now, first up, we have the box art, which depicts when they got their Power Links upgrades in the Armada cartoon, which looks very cool. I like how he's in a crater, like how Nemesis put him in the actual show. So, Very nice attention to detail. And then we also have the minicons floating above him, powering him up. And then we have the back of the box, which shows everything that's included and all the names of all the characters. So that helps me remember all of them. So, of course, it comes with Red Alert and 8 minicons for all the characters that we have so far, other than Hotshot, which he got his minicon in Legacy Evolution. Now, let's actually talk about the figure. Here's everything that's included, and I like how it looks. Of course, Red Alert is in, as I said, his Power Links upgrade, which is gray, orange, and red with a blue bar in the front. And it looks good, though the gray makes it look like it's a little unfinished, but the orange at least makes it pop alongside the red that goes with it. And it looks very nice, though I get why they put this with the mini compact, because not many people would actually buy this since, Red Alert shelf warmed for most of Age of the Primes. And I bet you, if I go to the store right now, I can still find one of them. But, yeah, it looks very good. But the main thing I know people are here for are the minicons. And all of them just look so good. Okay, so for the minicons, we have Swindle, Sparkplug, Leader 1, and Hawk, which go to Starscream, Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Wheeljack, respectively. And, of course, he comes with his own personal minicon, Long Arm. And then we also get the Dark Star Saber trio of Jackknife, Jetstorm, and Sonar. Now, I know Hawk and Jackknife, those aren't the original names of the minicons. I just don't know what they are. So I'll just be calling them what they go by with the trademarks now. But yeah, all of them look very nice in robot mode. And I cannot complain about them whatsoever. Though I do wonder of the QC issue of the Dark Star Saber trio, because, the original was clear plastic and they were falling apart. I know some copies were just destroyed after a little bit, so that's the only 3 I'm skeptical on. But for the other ones, for the main characters, I'm very hopeful for them. Though I do wonder how Swindle's going to peg on the Starscream, because if you didn't know, the Armada Starscream was a remold of the Reactivate Starscream, if you couldn't tell, which I just found out by watching the live stream. Very interesting to know. Well, portions of it were retooled from it, to be more exact. So I wonder how Swindle's going to connect to that. But other than that, I think all of them look very amazing. But I cannot wait to get Sparkplug or Leader 1 to go with the Galvatron and the Optimus I'm about to get. And all in all, love them very much. Cannot wait to get my hands on it. And in vehicle mode, they still look amazing. Of course, they're all their mini versions of the vehicles they're based off of, with Swindle being a race car, Sparkle being a normal car, Long Haul being a crane type vehicle, Leader 1 being a sort of tank, Hawk being a sort of jet thing, and the Dark Star Saber trio just being jets. And all in all, looks very nice, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And of course, there's also Red Alert. Can't forget about Red Alert. I kind of like the orange compared to the original when it goes into vehicle mode. I don't know. The orange just pops more than the white and red of the original. But other than that, I would love to get my hands on this. The only downside is it's $70, which, it makes sense because of all the minicons that are coming with a Voyager class figure. But I don't feel like the minicons are $30 worth. They're more like $20 in my opinion. But yeah, other than that, I'll try to get my hands on this and make a review on it. Now, that's it for the Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Let's move on to the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. And the first one we have is a special edition Transformer cereal box. Yes, this is one of our San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. But this is a reference to back in the day, before modern internet. Oh, a Gen Z making fun of that. Oh, but it's basically a nod to how you would get something with cereal boxes. And it includes jazz with it. Ooh. But another thing I love that it did is they actually made the inside of it have a cereal bag in it that you open up, and it has everything inside, which is so cool. Now, for the figures that comes with it, of course, it has to come with Optimus Prime for this anniversary set. And it is the Legacy United G1 Optimus, but with a new head and in cartoon accurate colors, which look very amazing on him. And he also includes a accurate matrix this time around instead of it just being the clear matrix, which is very cool and I love it. And of course, in vehicle mode, he looks very clean, very nice, very demure, and I just honestly love it. But he also comes with a trailer too, which I love. It basically just has the classic Transformers on there with the heroic Autobots, and it just looks very nice. And of course, the trailer can open up and of course becomes his battle station. I'm saying of course a lot right now. But yeah, the battle station looks very nice in the black plastic, and I like it. He also comes with a roller, so roller is always a good addition to come out of any trailer with Optimus. And the trailer can even fit core class figure in it. And as you see, the core class is Jazz. And as we get to it, in robot mode, he looks very nice, very chunky for one. And it very much goes so into the look of his classic toy and a little bit of the classics generations Jazz, which personally one of my favorite figures that I want to get. Can never find it on eBay or anything like that for a decent price stuff. But yeah, it looks very nice, and I love it personally. And what they called it was Super Core Class, but this looks more like a Legends figure that came out in the Prime Wars trilogy, in my opinion. And I just want Core Class to come back. Is that too much to ask for? Because we could get cool stuff like this. And in vehicle mode, he looks very cool. It's streamlined and it looks so good. I just want to get a normal release of it too, so we can have that. But we're probably not gonna get that for since they're not doing core class anymore. Plus, it's very rare that we get a new mold of a figure that's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So we don't really know how that's gonna come out. But other than that, that's it for the first San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Moving on to the next one, we have a collab with Jim and the holograms. And of course, the figure that had to go with that was Blaster. And Blaster looks very nice in the neon blue and pink. Honestly, I did not know that color scheme would work for him, but it very much does. And it looks so good. Personally, here's a fun fact. I will watch Gem and the Holograms reruns on the Hub. Not that one, but the one that was owned by Hasbro. And I loved it personally. It was such a good show. And getting a collab with Transformers, that's pretty big. And I love it. Hopefully, this means we may be getting a remake of the show. Because I would love to see that, Hasbro. But other than that, looks very nice. For accessories, he comes with two new things. First up, he comes with a microphone, which looks very nice. And he also comes with a guitar. Well, guitar. I was about to say something else. Well, I'm not. I'm right. Because the guitar can actually turn into a keytar as well. So, yeah, that's very cool. And I love that small engineering just to add some flavor to Blaster. Now, that's not the only thing that comes with this set. Well, before that. And his boombox mount looks very nice. Still the same color scheme, but the type of grade that they use make it look like it's like unpainted and stuff, which not my favorite thing. But at least it still looks fairly good because of the neon blue and pink. And all in all, looks very nice. Now, he also comes with 3 mini-cons, and we're actually getting a Kiss player homage to this. And I'm just like, wow. Because I was not expecting to get any type of representation for Kiss players. Now for our 3 that we have Rosanna, Glit, and Sundor. The 3 minicons that were mainly shown off during Kiss players, and they all look nice. I love how each of them looks, and all 3 of them are recolors of previous molds that we've got before, with Glit being the Ravage from 86 Soundwave, Sundor being the Condor mold from the 86 Soundwave, and we also have Rosanna as the Cassette Brothers for Blaster. But this time around, she actually comes with new guns, so that's pretty cool. And all in all, these 3 minicons are pretty interesting. And other than that, that's really it for this exclusive. And all in all, I like these 2 exclusives, and I'll try to get one of them at least and make a review on it. But other than that, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, how do you guys feel about all these reveals? Do you like them? Do you feel skeptical on some of them? And how do you feel? Because with us getting a Power Master in it, that leads the door open for more things, like how they talked about doing a Power Master Optimus Prime, us getting more mini-cons down the line, a Demolisher and Cyclonus, which they also mentioned. So I'm pretty excited for the future of Transformers right now. I'm just not excited for the future of Hasbro, but that's a discussion for another day. And if that's everything, that's wrap, fade to black. And thanks for watching.